There's one last field of beet to do on Charwell. I think it's time we got it lifted. And meanwhile, maybe we'll get lucky and that corn will dry out enough to get harvested as well. Hello and welcome back to Charwell, and once again, yeah, we are doing the Sugarbeet. We've got one field left of it. It's not a very big field. My hope very much is though that we're going to be able to get it out fairly quickly today. So it's one of those things where we know we need to take at least 4 headlands off this in order to get this tractor turning around. I think 4 headlands is pretty much going to finish this field, to be honest. But we'll see how we do. I've not got the tractor and trailer. I've not got the JCB yet because I want to get this started up. Right, and down with that and into the field and see how we do. Alternative would have been to I've got this going with the clearing first, so use the front of this to top the beet first, but I don't like doing that. I like doing this all in one setup here. I quite like the look of this tractor like this. So we're gonna go around. We're gonna see how far we can get before we have to unload. I don't think it's gonna be that far. I doubt we'll make an entire round of this field like this. But we'll give it a go. We'll see how we do, and hopefully this is as I said, we're going to get a bit more off here. How much beet do we currently have? Just out of interest. So we're currently got a grand total of 165,000 litres of beet in our storage. Now with it, what I'm hoping is that we might get another 35,000 litres off here. Send us over 200,000 litres. See if we can get that. I mean, we're doing all right on this first run around the field. We are already at 9,000 litres, not 90,000 litres. 9,000 litres. In fact, there we go. We're full. So we'll do what we did last time, and this is why I didn't get the tractor and trailer before we got up here, because I want to back out enough of here to pull over to our hedge and empty over the hedge. Now it does mean that we're going to have fun coming back down the other straight, but we should be alright. So grab the fast track here. I'd already hooked this up to our trailer, and I think we are still on the 4-wheel steer, so we need to switch that as well. There we are. Now I think we might. Are we? Yeah, we are on the 4-wheel steer. So no, we're not. There we go. Just makes it a little bit more manoeuvrable. Yes, not overly realistic to be doing that down the road, so my apologies for that. We should have checked that before we got running. But we want to keep the Sugarbeet harvester running. So, yeah, we do need to do a little bit of that. And get this up there and get this emptied. So, as always, with 6,000, this takes about 3.5 tanks off our Sugarbeet harvester, but as before, it doesn't matter that much because we're going to try and use follow me as much as we can around this field. Again, as I said, it's a pretty small field, so it's not really going to be that much that we can do that with. By the time we're taking 4 headlands off this, there is not going to be a huge amount of field left. Let's bring this up alongside. And that should do it, I think. Yeah, there we go. So that will empty out now. We'll put the handbrake on, turn the engine off. And I'm not sure we can turn around, so this is going to be an interesting bit from that point of view. You can see we are nice and empty. There we go. So we'll lift all of our tools. Line ourselves back up, drop them back down, and try and get the rest of this headland out in as smooth a manner as we can. I do like this setup. This setup works well on this terror track. And what I want to do is try and get this so we take a nice wide bit before we come around here. Destroy as little crop as I can. Trying to get round. It's a very tight field, this. Very, very tight field. You can see how much we're going to destroy. Now, hopefully it shouldn't be that much as we run out, try and work our way around this field. Now the way to avoid destroying anything at all, of course, is get a tractor on the front running this that has care wheels on it. So if you're running a care wheel tractor in the middle of this setup, you're guaranteed on crop destruction not to destroy any crops. And that would work a lot better. You often see it on potato setups like this, where the tractor will have care wheels on, just because you're so much more in the crop with potato harvest. With this, we're not. We're topping it, or we should be topping it all before we get into it. As I said before, I do wish the FS19 did the same in its crop destruction as FS17 did, where if you ran over Sugarbeet, what you got was it just topped it, which makes sense, because how does running over the crop here actually destroy crop? Right, let's see where this road leads. I think this is going to be quite a long way round. We probably should have come from that way in the first place. Or we might be able to turn it around. In fact, I think we can probably turn around in this area here. If we back this up. So back our trailer into here. Yeah, there we go. We do still have this rather large weight on the front of the tractor, but that shouldn't give us too much hassle. So we'll head round. We can get, it looks like we're going to get roughly 3 full loads off this headland, that's actually quite something. That's quite a bit. Lots of things coming up in this series that we've got to do. We've got to sell last year's wood chip bales yet. That is purely because the best price doesn't kick in until early to mid-winter. Unfortunately, looking at the size of that poplar growth, I don't think we're going to be harvesting poplars in winter. I think what we're going to have to do is, come the springtime, lose a crop of those, plough them up, and work something else out. We might switch fields. I mean, this field here would actually be a great poplar field. So we might switch fields and take 19 for another crop. And then leave 83 and 44 for poplars up at this end. And get them in nice and early in the year. Make sure they have the full year to grow. And then by the next winter, we should have enough growth for us to keep going and be able to actually do a poplar harvest in the winter. So I want to keep an eye on what the poplar harvest setup is, because we've not quite got it right on Charwell so far. And if we can get an entire year's growth and harvest in winter, that is exactly what I'm looking for. And thankfully poplars don't wither. It would be a much bigger problem if poplars withered. But thankfully they don't. They are whoa. They're a crop that will keep going until you harvest them. So pull this in here. We'll lose a little bit of crop in the corner, but we'll be alright otherwise. And this is just going to make it much, much easier when we come to do road 2 or headland 2. But we do need to close our gate. So yeah, it's not a massive amount, although if we get 2 trailers worth off here, that would be good. We certainly look like we're going to get something along those lines. Certainly not going to take us quite as long as the last field took to harvest. And in. There we go. So missed a little bit in the corner. But we are on to row 2. And what I want to do now is, as this is pretty much straight, we will set our GPS going along here. And once this has been set, there we go. So that is a nice straight row now, and I should be able to lift both of these and reverse this back. Because we're on a GPS course, because we've held it nice and straight, I'm hoping my sugar beet harvester is going to stay straight. It's not, but we are out of the crop. And we know that we can get back on the GPS course down here. So that's good news. But this does not hold a lot. You end up with a very full tank off this this beet harvester without realizing it very quickly. Yeah, there we go. We're back on track. And there we go. That will position us well. Let's switch over, and what we can do is we'll turn the beacons off on this. So 56% after 2 full loads. We know we won't quite make it a full length of this field without having to empty, so we are going to have to use the follow me, because that does prevent the crop destruction. There we go. Bit close, but it is at least going into the trailer. Pull that out a little bit. And there we go. And I think we can use this actually to calibrate our follow me. So we want to be out by 4 meters, and that wants to be, oh, put that in forwards. There we go. Bring it alongside. Should do it. Yeah, no. Wants to be slightly ahead. And down we go. And away we go. There we are. So this then will just top off our trailer as we go along here, and then we'll go and tip this and get this first bit out, and that will be a good start to this field, because that is 20,000 litres straight off. We are going to hit 200,000 litres off this in total off our beet harvest, which is absolutely brilliant news. Very, very pleased about that, as our trailer is now full. So I'm going to go and tip that, and we will be back shortly getting some more of this field done. Trailer is emptied and we are back at the field. So put the follow me back on, jump back into our tractor, and away we go. Now, getting around this top corner is going to be tricky. I think the way to do it is going to be to hold the tractor and trailer quite early. So Shift H on follow me, we'll get that done. We'll then go out the end, lift up. I'll take myself off the GPS course. We'll pull out, and hopefully by the time I've got my turn in, we'll be going straight enough, but it's always a little bit tough. Right, there we go. So that takes the end off. We then try and back this back round to a point where we're not going to take any. No. This field does allow for a little bit, actually. If we can get this into the back corner of here, then we will be fine. Just about. And then down, and then we'll release the hold. And hopefully that tractor should come round and pick us up. Yeah, like that. Now it has hit the edge with that weight, but it's working its way. Yeah, there we go. So I do like there's a little bit more control with follow me when doing a job like this. He says, as it gets stuck. Yeah, it did. It got stuck on the hedge. So let's see if we can pull it off it. Yeah, there we go. Didn't take much. It would have been much further until that was unblocked. But it is unblocked now. And it is going well. So let's keep this moving. And yeah, it's a system that works really, really well for single player Sugarbeet. I know this it's not available on console, but on a PC side, I think that follow me and doing this is great. The biggest problem I have with doing the other method that I would do single player for corn is that the tractors have a big issue turning this Sugarbeet harvester. I mean, really, really big issue. Whoa. Press the wrong button. I want to hold that tractor there. We're going to have to... Speaking of hired workers, that's exactly what we just set off. So, I've got to back this out, move this out the way, reverse it up, and get this back into a position that is useful for us. Yeah, don't hit the wrong buttons while you're doing stuff is always a good suggestion. Whether that is in real life or in the game, it causes all sorts of chaos. Right, okay, so I'm going to control F that. I can't see the harvester. Try and do a straighter reverse. There we go. Right. Follow that. Follow that. There we go. And then we're going to do Shift H, which will hold it. We're going to turn everything back on. Because annoyingly the helper turned it all off. Now somebody said the other day that they'd like to see me run out of fuel. They're in... yeah, I should have fueled this tractor up, so I'm gonna have to run this back to the farm and get some fuel because we have less than quarter of a tank left, and I don't want to run this any longer than that. So I am sorry to disappoint again, but I'm going to get to the end of this field and see if we can get some more fuel in this tractor, because at the moment we are dangerously low. So we'll get to the end of this field. We're going to drop off the equipment. There we go. See if we can get the end of this. That little patch in the gateway, we're never going to get that. Back this up. Yeah, you're gonna struggle, tractor. So take that off, follow me, reverse it up, empty this out. Yeah, so that's emptied out. And then we'll need to stop everything here. So stop it all, switch it over, stop it, and then disconnect the back. Because there's no point in taking all of this back to the farm. We'll put this right in the hedge here, so drop it down. Now there is an issue with this. I don't like the gateway in this field. It is, and this is, I think this again is another reason why I want to do this field as poplars going forward, because that gateway to me opens the wrong way. I wouldn't have thought on any farm you would actually have had the gate open in such a way as it gets in the way in the field like that, when you've got a perfectly good hedgerow along the other side. So you'd hang the gate the other way, and that would make it a lot easier to work that field. I think everywhere else I don't have any issues with the gates on here really. It's just that field more than any other causes yeah, makes me go, I'm not sure that's quite right. Everywhere else seems to be pretty good on here. And the gateway for the field there that's got next year's winter wheat in it, that is a little bit annoying. But otherwise, yeah, otherwise it's all good. Right, are we going to make it back before we run out of fuel? I hope so. There we are, through the farm, and yes, there we go, fueled up. So we'll get the fuel in and we'll head back to the field and get it all hooked back up. So our 4 headlands are out. We are about to fill up our trailer again. And the good news is we are already past our 200,000 litre target that we had, that I was hoping to reach. So the question is, do we have in this field another trailer and a half full? I would say it's very likely we do. If that's the case, we have over 250,000 litres of beet on Charwell this season, which is just absolutely brilliant. So really, really pleased that the Sugarbeet has done so well for us on here. So yeah, let's go get this tipped and finish this field off and see what the total that we have is. But at the moment, this is looking very, very good. Not much left of the field now. We've got these 2 strips, really. And that should be it. We are well over 250,000 litres, amazingly. We are at 252,000 litres plus what we've got in this trailer, and this trailer has 10,000 litres. So we're over 260,000 litres of sugar beet off Charwell for this year. Absolutely brilliant. So very, very pleased at how well this has gone. That is just an amazing amount of sugar beet. Now, sugar beet price, as you probably gathered, and normally is low, £242. Although we're not at the peak of its value at the moment. We are looking at making about a quarter of whatever it is that we have stored. So 260 divided by 4, that is 6.5, so 65,000 pound we should get for this field, or for all of our sugar beet, if it hits the 250 mark, which would be just absolutely brilliant. So yeah, I would call that a successful first year for the sugar beet. That has worked really, really well. We'll put the hold on our following tractor there, but that is a successful sugar beet harvest. One thing we've got before we go, I bet you thought that was the end. We need to go and just check over here. I'm going to reduce the time down to 1. How has this done? This is at 21%. So, next time, we're going to throw the moisture out the window. We're going to harvest our corn, because 21% is only marginally over, and we have a grain store now, so we know we can dry it out. So that's what we're going to do next time. We're going to harvest that corn. We're going to get a combine and harvest that. For now, though, all that remains is for me to say thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please give it a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. And for all the latest videos from the channel, please hit that subscribe button and ring that bell. And I will see you next time. Goodbye.